good evening. You're watching Taking Stock on CNBC TV-18, the show where we take stock of the week gone by and prepare you for the next trading week. I'm Ekta Batra, and it turned out to be a good Friday. We managed to end above 7,600, which was very close to the high point of the day of 7,613. We had the Nifty, which went home with a gain of around 1% odd for the entire week, and the Bank Nifty, which outperformed with a gain of around 3% odd. PSU Bank Index even outperforming that with a gain of around 5% odd. Hi, Lata.
Hi. Well, actually, you put it in a nutshell. The bank index was the one that led from the front. But the index as a whole, the Nifty, after only one day of losses on Monday, that is 14th of March, it has actually been on an uptrend, and it has quite decisively beaten that 7,550 mark. That was seen as a bit of a resistance, and it did prove to be for at least a couple of days. And even today we saw it struggling, straddling that 7,550 for a better part of the week, but it came up trumps.
But let's tell you what we have lined up on the show today. We have Porinju Veliyath joining in of Equity Intelligence India, and Jay Bala of CashTheChaos.com will join in just a bit as well. Porinju, hi, thank you very much for joining in and welcome to the show. First, your take on the markets. We've gained around 11% odd from that 52-week low that we hit on the budget. How much more do you think we have to go, and how much have we probably already factored in terms of the good triggers for the global markets as well as maybe from the RBI?
Ekta, regarding the market, I feel, I'm not looking at the recent bounce from the bottom, whatever has been created. I am looking at market the way, market has been correcting. Now, market is at the bottom. That is the way I can look at Indian markets on an arithmetic basis and, on a macro level, on a big picture on this country. So I consider market, if you consider Nifty at around 7,500, that has been always the bottom. So it went down to 6,800, 900. It's an aberration. It's irrational panic and irrational pricing in the short term, which happens in the market once in a while. So for me, market is at the bottom. So there is no, I am not looking at 100 points or 200 points. I am looking at next 2,000 points, 3,000 points in the Nifty. How much time it will take for reaching that kind of a target. Okay. That is the way I am looking at the Indian markets today, because India is an economy today, the fastest growing economy in the world. And talking about bear markets or bounces doesn't make much sense. We can talk about a bear market, once we reach a fairly large size of the economy, which is capable of feeding our 1.3 billion people. Something like 4 trillion or $5 trillion economy.
But you completely take your point on that as an economy there is no bearishness at all, especially when you have the youngest population compared to any other country, and certainly compared to any other large economy. Your point is taken. But I'm excited by the theme you have chosen to speak on and your stock selection. The theme you have chosen is unprecedented opportunities in India related to marine inland navigation and national waterways. Tell us why you have picked this very theme, and which of the stock are you going to speak about first? ITD cementation?
Yeah, that's one stock. I was just giving two stocks, but more importantly, I want to talk about this sector. This is a sector which was ignored in a criminal manner in the last 60 years in this country. Because the geographical position of this country, with something like 7,000 kilometers of, the shore, it is amazing. The transportation in this country, feeding our 1.3 billion people, we would have done it decades ago. At least I'm so glad it is happening now. Okay. In the recent past, there are very decisive kind of movements in this regard to use our hundreds of rivers. Now, government has announced about 111 rivers, the inland, converting into the national waterways. It's a very important step, Today, the cost of transportation, Gadkari was once showing it, like when the per unit transportation cost of cargo, by road it comes to something like 1.5 rupees, something like, per unit kilogram, whatever it is. Okay. And by railway, it is 1 rupee. Whereas by water, it is only 25 paise. So it's a very, very important thing on a macro level. We should really, I think it's in the right way. And there is something like 70,000 crores kind of a funding is arranged for the first phase of this development. Around 50,000 kilometers of waterways, out of which 35,000 kilometers is inland waterways, converting some more than 100 rivers, and something like 14,500 kilometers of coastal.
Yep.
Coastal waterways.
Porinju, the argument is absolutely spot on. But can we really play this theme through the listed stocks at all? How much can ITD cementation, for instance, benefit from this?
They can grow manifold because there will be a shortage of people to execute all these kind of large projects. When we talk about 70,000 crores kind of first phase, it is really huge. Now dredging corporation is like a monopoly today. But when this kind of large opportunities emerge, there could be many other companies also jumping into the bandwagon. Still, the leader and with expertise and execution capabilities, I feel even dredging corporation could be well placed. There could be other infra companies also, but I want to focus and narrowly focus to the marine and waterways. And it can be unprecedented growth, and which can help our economy. Suppose we did this 20 years ago, our economy could have been already $3 trillion today. These all are related, this basic infrastructure, the transportation ways, which is the backbone of any economy to grow.
Okay.
So I feel it is better late than never, and these companies can grow manifold, and many other listed companies also can get into this industry.
Okay. So, Porinju, if you're talking about, say, valuations of ITD cementation and dredging corp, what are they currently valued at? What is it trading at? And how much do you think it could possibly incrementally gain? And what is your time horizon possibly in terms of holding it as well?
I never have time horizon and targets in my life, not only in stock picking, generally. Anyway, see, the dredging corporation is, I think, priced at around 900 crores today. It's a government company, and it's having it's a healthy balance sheet, some 700 crores kind of debt. And it's a very good company. It's a super specialty, and that will be the segment with maximum opportunities coming up. It can grow 5-fold and 10-fold in the next 2-3 years' time. That's the kind of potential is there. And ITD cementation, it's I think stock market price is some 103, converting into 1,600 crores of market capitalization, some 800 crores of debt. So the enterprise value is something like 2,200 crores. I think this can it's already a highly performing company, ITD cementation. ITD means it's the Italian Thai development company.
Yeah.
It's a well professionally managed company with a healthy balance sheet again. And they are having monopoly in some of these maritime structures kind of segment. So this company is also likely to benefit immensely going forward. So I think stock pickers in India should have that common sense approach. Which sectors and which companies are placed in the new emerging opportunities to take advantage.
Porinju, we are on the verge of a holiday season, summer vacations for students. So, earlier this week, we got a lot of holiday stocks as well, hospitality stocks. Sometime back, you picked Indian hotels. Do you still keep the faith in hotel stocks?
Yeah, the hospitality sector, after a decade, I strongly feel, of course, the stock price is much below than I recommended a few months ago. I think it was 105, today it is 95 or kind of prices. It's again, it's not a well-managed company. It's the biggest problem with Indian hotels. The management is very bad, I have to say that. Otherwise, the company, structurally, it's a fantastic company. The kind of properties, operational properties they own, the market caps will be at least 3-4 times if better managed. If a reasonably good management comes and take it over. But that, I can't talk much about this. And there could be, stock companies like, the Royal Orchid. It's in a very good expansion mode and very clean company. It's mostly into management of the hotels. Oriental hotels. I think that segment is to be looked at by investors. They are available at, the sentiment is bad on the industry for last many years. And so that these companies are available at a very attractive valuations. That's what I would like to talk about this. And I think and there is, after many, many years, in spite of the fact that too many hotels have come up, too many properties are happening all over the country. Still, there is shortage of hotel rooms happening in the 5-star and 4-star segment most of the seasonal time.
Okay.
So that is a very positive for this. The margins, profit margins for these companies can go up.
Welcome back to Taking Stock on CNBC TV-18. We are trying to tell you how you should manage the week and indeed the weeks ahead. We have just been speaking to the multi-bagger picker, Porinju Veliyath, and now Jay Bala of catchthechaos.com also joins us. Good afternoon to you, Jay. Porinju, let me just wind up the conversation we have been having with you. Real estate stocks actually have been started to getting a look in. The kind of guys who told us hospitality is a bet also told us that real estate is an area where they will just start doing some nibbling. What about you? For the long run, is there any picks in that sector?
Yeah, again, DLF is looking very attractive, Nita. Not only DLF, some of those there is a shortage again coming up in many cities of the country, regarding the commercial real estate, the offices and kind of, the commercial real estate. There is a big demand, and the supply has been declining in the last few years. So I think DLF and perhaps Anandraj kind of companies can do well. They have a huge built-up valuable properties. And the market cap or the enterprise's value today of these companies, they are significantly below its intrinsic value, the properties what they hold, what they own. So I think despite the decline in the real estate prices, these companies, these stocks can appreciate reasonably. But again, 1 year ago, if you remember, I was very bullish on these companies. That kind of an excitement is not there right now, but I think they can appreciate well. Next 1-2 years time.
Maybe that's why they will do well, because the excitement is not there and it is the longer term investor who is returning. Thank you very much, Porinju, for joining us. Have a great weekend.